Hi, I'm Twinny the Tinker and welcome to my Tinker's Tour of Tasmania. In this I'll be taking you around a few different parts of Tasmania and we're making or mending the things that we need for each of those locations. Our first location is Roby's Farm on the remote southern end of Maria Island. Remote homesteads like this one are where you find great examples of tinkering. Viv and Hilda Roby built this whole farm and they lived here for years before they were both taken off the island due to illness and they never returned. The site is littered with relics of their lives and examples of Viv's tinkering, like this watering can he made. The can is an old oil tin, the spout is braced with fencing wire, and the spout itself is made from some old downpipe left over from some guttering work. My favourite piece of tinkering I've seen here is the latch on the cupboard door though. Simple and effective. The Robys did get a supply ship every once in a while that could bring manufactured goods and farming equipment. There was even a car on the farm for a while, but when things broke it was up to the Robys to fix them, and their repair jobs are everywhere around here. From Roby's Farm I headed north up to Encampment Cove. Made it to Encampment Cove and I am absolutely wrecked. 30 odd kilometres on sandy tracks and so from Roby's Farm to Encampment Cove, which is where I am now, I had to cross Stinking Creek, not kidding, that's what it's called, and go up, well I wanted to go up Big Hill. Yes, those are actually their names, Stinking Creek and Big Hill. So I had to go up there to see if I could see the Sydney to Hobart yachts, which are passing this time of year, but I didn't see any. That's alright, I'm absolutely exhausted though. I'm going to set up camp and have a nap and then see what I can do about food. After a wet start this morning, it has turned into an absolute pearler of a day, and I've come up to this convict era barn on the very north of the island. Now, this barn was actually built 100 years before Viv Roby came and built his farm on the south of the island. And it gives you some idea of the layers of history that are on this island, starting with the indigenous people, moving through to the convict penal colonies of various sorts. There were farming operations, there was a concrete works on the island, and all this history is still here. Bits of it at least. There's lots of things you can go and discover, all these different layers of history throughout the island, so I highly recommend it. There's also all the wildlife that's here, so many. There's wombats, potoroos, Cape Barren geese, lots of Cape Barren geese, and Tasmanian devils. There's a sanctuary of Tasmanian devils here on the island that are free from their facial tumour cancer. It's a transmissible cancer because they're so inbred. Now there's a population here that survive, and especially down the south of the island you can hear them at night. And if you're lucky, you're very lucky, you'll be able to see them too. So Maria Island's a great location. I definitely recommend coming here, but for now I want to make something for Viv. Now, he was taken off this island in 1965 with malnutrition. And I reckon a good veggie soup would have cured that. And if you have a veggie soup, you've got to have a ladle to serve it with. So I'm going to channel my inner Viv, and I'm going to use what I've got around me to make a ladle. Now, Viv, when he was building stuff, used a lot of containers, sort of empty, basically rubbish that he had lying around. And I'm planning on doing the same. See, while I've been here, I've been eating just a bit of tuna. It's light, it's quick protein, it's something I eat a lot while I'm camping. And that's left me with quite a few tins and quite a few lids. So I'm going to see if I can make a ladle out of these. First thing you need to do is get rid of that little lip that's left over from when you take the lid off. So I'm going to use a pair of pliers and just squish that down all the way around. Much better. Now we can start looking at the handle of the ladle. And to make a handle from a can like this, I'm going to cut the top and the bottom off and then straighten out this section and see if I can make a bit of a handle out of that. Handle. But how are we going to attach it? Alright, so we've now got our two split pins going through from the inside of our ladle to the handle, and it's just a case of taking those pliers and straighten those out. So there we go, a ladle made from 2 tuna cans. Now that was made with some pretty basic tools, just a pair of jeweler snips, a pair of pliers and a little push drill. And that stuff doesn't weigh much, and that's why I carry those sort of things with me everywhere I go. So, join me next week, and we'll be going to the Salamanca markets where I can buy some vegetables, and maybe I can put this thing to the test. Also, we'll see what sort of thing you need at the Salamanca markets. That's what we can make. I'm Truly the Tinker. Bye.